and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV's AM News, live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Judith Peters. On the news, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has emphasized the need for sacrifice from citizens and religious leaders in order to restore Nigeria to its rightful position in the international community. Tinubu assured Nigerians that even though the nation is currently facing challenges, better days are ahead. The president disclosed this during a closed-door meeting with a delegation of Southwest Muslim faithful led by Razaki Oladejo in Abuja. The president explained that his administration policy aimed to create a fair, better and honest society where hard work is rewarded and laziness is discouraged. He acknowledged that the current situation may seem complex and challenging, but he assured everyone that it will eventually get better. President Tinubu also mentioned the difficult decision of removing the petroleum subsidy, highlighting that this was necessary for Nigerian sustainability. He added that there had been no leader, military or civilian, that could break this hard knot of removing petroleum subsidy for Nigeria to grow as a country, while praising President Tinubu for doing it and praying to God to see him through. As well, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has met with a special envoy of the President of South Korea, Won Yi-young, to discuss the areas in which a further expansion of investment and trade ties across key sectors of Nigerian economy can efficiently occur. The meeting, which took place at the State House, was a follow-up to productive discussion between President Tinubu and South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol during the G20 Leaders Summit in New Delhi. President Tinubu commended the effort that has been made in implementing the commitment made during his discussion with President Yoon in India, as he hopes for increased South Korean presence in the transformation of Nigeria's national multi-modal transportation system and the need for greater South Korean investments in the establishment of local industries for youth employment and technology transfer. As Nigeria seeks to understudy and replicate South Korea's national transportation system, the special envoy also delivered President Yoon's letter to the president, outlining the South Korean president's instruction to South Korea's ministry to diligently implement the important project discussed during their meeting on the margin of the G20 summit, including the conclusion of the trade and investment promotion framework between both countries. As well, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has advised women in both elective and appointed positions to extend a hand of fellowship and sisterhood to other women. She also urged them to give adequate and proper representation to the people. The First Lady was speaking while she received an audience the APC National Women Leader, Mary Alile Idele, and the Deputy National Women Leader, Ajia Zainab Ibrahim. Uyi Agbamofoegbe has the rest of the report.
While congratulating the women on their emergence, Senator Oluremi Tinubu pointed out that the task ahead of them is enormous as women play a vital role in politics. In her remarks, the APC National Woman Leader, Dr. Mary Alile Idele, appealed for more representation, saying that women have a lot to give, especially in assuring the people of a better nation.
We would like to seek to have more access to programs that will benefit women. We would like to seek to have more access to programs that will benefit not only women in the city, but also women in the rural areas. So we want to be seen to have projects that will benefit them in the rural areas. We want to see to be able to do that in order for us to win more seats, more APC states. We want more APC states in Nigeria. I know by now we have about 20 states, but there's nothing stopping us from having 36 if possible, if we can have that. So we want to be able to make sure that our women that are in the villages, that they are aware of what we are doing, that we can use them in order to continue to reach the young women, the young men in our society. One of another thing that is very that we have talked about as a wing of the APC, women wing, we want to see how we can get in more young girls into politics. Now, this is something we are aware of, the 35% affirmation that we are seeking for women. But again, if we don't have the people, the girls, the ladies to hand over the mantle to the next generation, how do we bring them on board? How do we mentor them? How do we ensure that this next generation, they are interested in politics? We want to have avenue where we can remove the stigmatization of women in politics in Nigeria, so that we can have more women, more young girls come into politics.
High point of the event was the presentation of a plaque of appreciation by the APC National Woman Leader and her deputy to the First Lady on behalf of other APC women. Uyi Agmofwegbe, reporting for Global Television News.
The federal government is set to build 34,000 homes in selected cities and state capitals across the 36 states and the FCT under the first phase of the Renewed Hope Cities project. Minister of Housing and Urban Development Ahmed Dangiwa made this disclosure yesterday at a meeting with the Controller General of Immigration at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja. He said increasing access to decent quality and affordable housing for all Nigerians is a major priority of the government. According to him, the major focus area is to reform of all federal housing agencies, such as the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria and Federal Housing Authority, while explaining that the cities will stand as symbols of inclusivity, ensuring that every Nigerian's family, regardless of their income level, has a place to call a home. The minister stated that FMBN would focus on affordable houses using single-digit interest rate and long tenure of up to 30 years to contributors to the National Housing Fund scheme, while the FHA has flexibility to develop houses for high-income segment. As well as special reports in December 2023, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, was notified of suspected diphtheria outbreaks in Kano and Lagos states. From 14th May 2022 to 9th April 2023, 1,439 suspected cases have been reported, of which 557, representing 39%, have been confirmed, including 73 deaths among the confirmed cases, with case fatality ratio of 13%. Nigeria has previously reported diphtheria outbreaks, with the most significant report in 2011 affecting the rural areas of Borno State. In the northeast of the country, while since the beginning of 2023, 557 confirmed cases of diphtheria have been detected in Nigeria, affecting 21 of the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Fauzia Lukman has the rest of the report.
Diphtheria is a serious infection caused by strains of bacteria called Corynebacterium diphtheriae that makes a toxin. It is the toxin that causes people to get very sick. Diphtheria bacteria spread from person to person, usually through respiratory droplets like from coughing or sneezing. People can also get sick from touching infected open sores and ulcer. Those at increased risk of getting sick are people in the same household, people with a history of frequent close contact with the patient, people directly exposed to secretion of the suspected infection site of the patient. In a bid to halt further spread of diphtheria outbreak in Nigeria, the Federal Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency and the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, supported by the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, disclosed that a total of 1,692,762 children ranging from 6 months to 4 years of age have been diligently administered the pentavalent vaccine, which serve as a vital safeguard against diphtheria disease, adding that over 3 million children aged 4 to 14 years have received the TD vaccine to further strengthening safeguard from the disease. The ongoing vaccination phase has made a tangible difference in protecting the lives of 4,859,181 children across affected states.
1,111,310 children with TD vaccines and 544,737 children with pentavalent vaccines in this phase 2. Katsina, another hotspot in this outbreak, has vaccinated 403,200 252 children with TD vaccines and 255,075 children with pentavalent vaccines. Similarly, Kaduna, Bauchi, Borno, Jigawa, and Yobe have not faltered in their efforts to ensure that vaccines reach kids in these local government areas. By so doing, we're collectively securing the health and well-being of hundreds of thousands of children through dedicated vaccination campaigns.
Katsina, which is another hotspot in the diphtheria outbreak, has vaccinated 403,552 children with the TD vaccine and 255,075 children with the pentavalent vaccine, while Kaduna, Bauchi, Borno, Jigawa, and Yobe have not faltered in their efforts either, collectively securing the health and well-being of hundreds of thousands of children through dedicated vaccination campaigns. The Director General of NCDC, Dr. Ife.
As well, the federal government says it has made plans and a new policy plan for cancer survivors to be centered to adequately. The Director General, National Institute for Cancer Research and Treatment, Usman Aliyu, disclosed this in an interview on Saturday in Abuja. According to him, the plan is contained in one of the 3 cancer policies aimed at adding cancer prevention and treatment in Nigeria. The federal government will inaugurate soon. He said that the institute has, since its establishment in January, been working on the policies that are expected to ensure that cancer prevention, treatment, and research into all cancer issues are put on the front burner. It is a 5-year plan that will span from 2023 to 2027, and that it is all-encompassing. The plan will be a leading guide to all the activities of cancer in the country, and it will cut across the area of cancer prevention, diagnosis, treatment, palliative care, and even survivorship for the first time. Ali also said that the institute has finalized work with the World Health Organization, WHO, and other partners to develop the nation's first national cervical cancer control plan 2023 to 2027. The Minister for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Betta Edu, has said the renewed hope agenda of President Tinubu was giving young Nigerians productive opportunities with primarily innovative ideas through different startup initiatives. Edu, who was joined by the European Union and representatives of 48 other countries in Hague, the Netherlands capital, made this known during our opening remarks in an event to discuss disturbing migration issues involving young people in Africa and the world. Edu noted that exploring the connection between immigration, youth, and development was important, as the youth between age 15 and 25 years will mark up 16% of the world's population, a growing mobile demographic that could play a significant role in fostering positive development. She further disclosed that in Nigeria, like in other parts of Africa, the youth have developed a robust startup ecosystem, attracting over $2 billion USD in investment between 2015 and 2022. So the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has met with resident electoral commissioner and other senior officers of the commission at its headquarters in Abuja to deliberate further on issues bordering on the governorship election scheduled to hold in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi State. Our correspondent, Uyi Agbomofoegbe, reports that Chairman of the Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, highlighted the level of preparation so far recorded.
This is one of several meetings organized by the Commission to brainstorm and address last-minute challenges. However, having appreciated the recs and other officers, the chairman gives an update on the 2023 general election.
You may recall that we met in July this year to review the conduct of the last general election, followed by a retreat in Lagos. Our reports for both the 2023 general election and the outcome of our review of the same election are being finalized.
On the 3 off-cycle elections, Professor Yakubu says,
in the next 3 weeks, off-cycle governorship elections will be held in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi states. The 3 elections will involve 5.4 million registered voters that will vote in 10,510 polling units spread across 649 electoral wards in 56 local government areas.
Once again, the Commission's chairman gives assurance on the mode of transmission of results of the elections.
So far, all non-sensitive materials for the election have been delivered to the 3 states. Other preparatory activities, including training, are on course. Valuable lessons have been learned from the 2023 general election for improved performance in the forthcoming elections. Last week, we concluded a mock accreditation involving actual voters in designated polling units in the 3 states. We had 2 objectives for the exercise. First, to test the efficacy of the bimodal voter accreditation system, the BVAS, for especially biometric authentication of voters. Secondly, to upload the result to the INEC result viewing portal, IREV. Both tests were successful.
Uyi Agmofwegbe, reporting for Global Television News.
You're watching the AM News on Global TV, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes Channel 276. Kindly follow us across our social media platform using Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your TV screen. We'll be back with more details of some stories for you after the short break. Please stay with us and don't go away.
The National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, welcomes broadcasters, content creators, tech experts, exhibitors, and investors from Nigeria and all over to the 13th edition of Africast. Africast is the destination event where local and global industry players experience the latest innovative technologies, services, products, and markets. Participants will experience 3 days of world-class exposition showcasing the very best in creativity, innovation, and technological advancement in the broadcast industry. Theme: broadcast content, synergy, finance, and market. Date: Tuesday 24th to Thursday 26th October 2023. Venue: Marriott Hotel Ikeja, Lagos. Time: 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. Chief Host: Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Muhammad Idris. Host: Balarabe Shehu Ilela, Director General. Announcer: Management. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, it's still Global AM News on Global Television from the Nigeria's capital, Abuja. And now as we turn to business news, where the recent lifting of foreign exchange restrictions on 43 items by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has sparked reactions amongst Nigeria on its impact on rise in food prices across the country. The CBN imposed the restriction in June 2015 to conserve foreign exchange reserves and promote local production of certain goods, including about 11 food items. However, the policy has has been criticized by some experts who argue that it has led to higher prices of imported food items and contributed to food inflation. Sandra Akpa has the rest of the report.
The Central Bank of Nigeria had, in a circular, published a list of imported goods and services that will not be eligible for foreign exchange in the Nigerian foreign currency market. The list, which was originally 41, was updated to include 2 more items. Nigeria's inflation rate rose to 26.72% in September 2023, amid soaring food prices and harsh economic realities occasioned by the removal of fuel subsidy in May. In separate interviews carried out at Utako Market, Abuja, Nigerians have this to say with regards to the cost of food prices and ban lifted on 43 items.
Since the government removed fuel subsidy, honestly, price of commodities, they are going higher and higher and higher every day because of the removal of the fuel subsidy. So, assuming that he put something in place before removing the fuel subsidy, it could have been better. But now, nothing. The thing affected the prices of commodities in the market. Let them import food. Hence, our farmers cannot be able to go to the farm to go and farm as usual because of kidnappers and Boko Haram and bandits. It's necessary because they are necessary commodities. It's necessary. Palm oil, vegetable oil, rice, this is spaghetti and other food items. It is necessary.
I've heard about the 43 items lifted. For rice and other edible items, I think it's okay because of we are not yet producing enough to feed the nation. So I think restricting ban on such items is actually the best thing that can happen to us.
The price of food, like when you go to the market today, you buy something. You're going back tomorrow, just carry like double of the money you use in buying what you bought yesterday. Because of every day, the prices of food goes up. And people use this as an advantage. Even those that are cheap, those ones that are cheap, they will still add money again to increase the prices. So every day, the transportation is also something else.
Nigerians are of the opinion that for these 43 items and other commodities to be affordable, the cost of fuel has to be reviewed downwards in order for farmers and importers to be able to transport their items to their various destinations.
I was discussing with a friend that everything is still lie on fuel. Like they will still transport it wherever it's coming from. So they will still transport it. So since the price of fuel is still high, the price of foodstuff in the market will still be high.
Sandra Akpa, reporting for Global TV News.
The federal government's 2023 budget recorded a 1.255 trillion naira shortfall in its projected revenue generation between January and July this year. The 2024 to 2026 medium-term economic framework (MTEF) prepared by the government indicated that of the 11.045 trillion naira projected for the year, the actual collection was 5.187 trillion naira instead of the prior rate of 6.442 trillion naira, therefore leaving a shortfall of 1.255 trillion naira on the expenditure. The administration spent much less than projected, as it spent only 8.6 trillion naira as at the end of July, out of the 21.83 trillion naira budgeted for the year. According to the document, the aggregated expenditure for 2023 is estimated at 21.83 trillion naira, with a pro-rate spending target of 12.29 trillion naira at the end of July. The actual spending was 8.60 trillion naira. Of this amount, 3.94 trillion naira was for debt service and 2.68 trillion naira for personal costs, including pensions. Only about 857.08 billion naira has been released for MDA's capital expenditure as of July 2023. Despite the current sluggish growth, the government projected a gross domestic product growth rate of 3.76% next year and expect it to rise to 4.22 and 4.78 in 2025 and 2026, respectively. From a current 700 naira per dollar exchange rate, the government has projected a 665.61 per dollar and 669.79 per dollar in 2025 and 2026, respectively, an optimism of a stronger naira in the coming year. Inflation, which is currently at 26.72, had been projected at 17.16 this year. And that's it on Global TV News, AM News, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. On StarTimes, channel 276. Kindly follow us across our social media platform using our Global TV NG, another handle now showing on your TV screen. On behalf of the production team, I am Judith Peters. Thank you so very much for watching. Good morning and have an amazing day ahead.